Hello everyone, welcome back to the library. I'm Laura. Today I'm going to be filming my spring/April book haul. I picked up some books in April. I went to a big book clearance sale from Half Price Books. I won a book from a Goodreads giveaway finally, and I picked up some books on my honeymoon. So I'm going to show all of these to you. First, I will show you the book that I won from the Goodreads giveaway. I have actually opened this already, but I thought I'd be cool and leave it in the box. So, the book that I won is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. I was super excited when I got the email that I won a Goodreads giveaway. I've been doing a lot of them since I've been on Goodreads, and this is the one I finally won. And this is about a woman named Cora Seaborn who departs from London for coastal Essex in 1893 after her husband dies. When she's there, she hears rumors about the mythical Essex serpent, and that this has been around for about 300 years, and that it's returned, and she's eager to investigate, so she's introduced to the parish vicar, William Ransom, and they attempt to discover the truth about, the Essex serpent, what it is, if it's real, and I've heard good things about this. I don't know a lot of people who've read it, but the ones who have said good things about it. I was just really happy to win this. Thank you to Goodreads and HarperCollins, who's the publishers of this, for sending this to me. I am excited to read this. While we were on our honeymoon, my husband and I had to go to a bookshop, of course. We went to this little bookshop in Bossier City, Louisiana, called The Book Rack. It was this little shop inside of like a little shopping center. Had one guy, the owner, inside of it, but there were tons of books, tons and tons of them. It was a little weird because a lot of them were romance books. I don't know if that's a big thing in Louisiana. I don't know, but there was this like entire section, just like big section, like separate room, just devoted to mostly romance. But he also had bestsellers, he had horror, he had comic books, which is mostly what my husband was interested in. He got some good ones, and then one random horror book he was interested in, but I ended up getting 3 books, and so I'll show those to you. First, I picked up this history book that I thought was really, really cool looking. It has like this leather or faux leather outside and this cool picture, and this is The Old West, The Pioneers. And like I said, I just thought this was really cool. It was $8. It has some really, really cool pictures in it, so who knows if I'll ever read it, but it'll look pretty on my shelves, and I really like it, so I just decided to get it. I also found I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I loved this movie as a kid, but apparently the book is a lot different and the book is better, so this one was in pretty good shape. It's a little bent up, but it was on sale, so I was like, might as well go ahead and get it. So I'm excited that I found this book. And then lastly, I found Gilead by Marilynne Robinson, and I know this book is on my want to read on Goodreads. I don't remember that much about it, but it looks like it is set in the Civil War era. It's about a reverend who is about to die later in the 1950s, and he's writing about the Civil War era and things that happened to him and to his son. So like I said, I don't know much about it, but it's a nice short little book, and what I have heard about it has been good, so I was happy to find this. It really doesn't even look like it's been touched, so this is a good little find. And then lastly, I have this box full of books from the Half Price Books clearance sale. I went to this sale last year too, but it was before I was getting into BookTube, and back into reading and everything. So this year I had a lot more books on my list that I could possibly pick up, and I picked up quite a few, but I spent under $40 for all these books. So I was really excited to find some of these, but I don't really remember what I got because this was over a month ago. It was at the beginning of April. So I'm just going to pull the books out and be surprised again by what I got. Okay, so, oh yes, the first book that I got is Alas Babylon by Pat Frank, and I have read this book before. In 8th grade, I was in the Gifted and Talented program, and we had to pick a classic to read and do this huge project on, like had to do an essay, had to do like a shadow box, create a vocabulary list from it. I don't even remember what all. There was like a ton of crap to do for, being like 13-year-olds, but we were special. Anyways, this is about a town who, like the town next to them has been hit by a nuclear attack, and so the people in this town are trying to survive, through all of this. And I remember actually liking it as an 8th grader. I enjoyed it, and it's apparently a really well-loved book now that I've looked more up about it, and I want to reread it because it has some interesting and good memories to it, so I was happy to find this in pretty good condition. The next book is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin, and I've heard really good things about this book, and this one doesn't look like it's been touched or opened or anything. And what this is A.J. Fikry's life is not at all what he expected it to be. He lives alone, his bookstore has experienced the worst sales in its history, and now his prized possession, a rare collection of Poe poems, has been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Fikry the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. So I've heard good things about this, was happy to find it. It's not a long book, so I will be excited to get to this when I can. Next book is, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. I have never read Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn, and I liked this little old edition. It's really cool, so I just saw it and decided to pick it up, and it's an important classic, so I really need to pick this up and read it as soon as possible, but I really like the little artwork on this and everything. The next book I will pick out of the hat, or box, is Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. I own The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides, but this is probably his most famous work. This and The Virgin Suicides. But I know this is kind of a saga of a child's life, and that it's just supposed to be really good. I'm not going to read the back of it, but you can look up what it's about, but this is kind of a classic of its own, a modern classic, so I will be excited to read this when I can get to it. Yeah, I was super happy to find this, and it's in really good condition, besides the Oprah's Book Club sticker on it. Next, I got Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I found The Hunger Games last year and just wanted to add to the collection, so I got Catching Fire. I couldn't find a matching one of Mockingjay. They had the hardcover in that, they had a ton of hardcovers of that, and then they had like no hardcovers of this or The Hunger Games. I was trying to get them all to match, so maybe next year will be the year I can find Mockingjay in paperback. Next is The Pearl by John Steinbeck, and it's a short story, novella. I've heard good things about it. I don't remember who it was that read it and liked it, but I thought this would be a good one to read before I read East of Eden, because I do own that one. So this was a nice little find. The next book is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk, or Funke? I'm not sure. Anyways, a lot of my friends read this in middle school. It was really popular, and I've tried to read it like 3 times, tried to listen to it, and it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but it's just I didn't want to read it at the time or didn't have time. But anyways, this is about a girl named Meggie who reads to her from a book, and at some point the evil ruler of this land in the book escapes and lands in their living room. And so basically she has this adventure and has to learn to harness the magic that has conjured the nightmare of what's happening. Anyways, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know people loved it when I was younger, and I've always thought the cover is really, really pretty, so I like owning it anyway. It's pretty nice size, but like I said, it's middle grade or young adult, so it shouldn't take me long to read if I get into this. Next is The Elegance of the Hedgehog, and I just love this cover. I believe I heard about this book from Ange from Beyond the Pages. I love her booktube channel. She reads a ton of books, a lot of classics, a lot of literary fiction. I just love her channel. She seems so sweet, and her puppy is adorable. Now, I don't know much about this book, but it's set in Paris, and it's about a little girl. And like I said, I've just heard good things about it. And it sounds like one that I kind of want to go into, not knowing much about it. But it's a literary fiction, and it just looks beautiful and seems like the writing is going to be beautiful, so I was happy to find this. Next, I have Plainsong by Kent Haruf. Now, last year I read Our Souls at Night. I found it through Reddit, didn't even know who Kent Haruf was, hadn't heard of the book. It was before the movie came out on Netflix, but I absolutely loved that book. It was probably in my top 10 favorites of 2017, and I had been trying to find Plainsong, which is, I believe, the start of a trilogy. I've been trying to find this book for forever, like in the clearance section of Half Price Books, and I kept finding the sequels at this clearance sale, and then I finally found Plainsong. And so this book is about a pregnant high school girl, a lonely teacher, and a pair of boys abandoned by their mother, and a couple of crusty bachelor farmers. So it just sounds kind of interesting. I loved his writing in Our Souls at Night, and I'm sure I'll love this one too. So I was so happy to find this. The next book is Tom Sawyer. So yes, I got Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I loved this. It was with the young adult section. I like the cover. I've read the beginning of this book but never finished it, so hopefully I can read this one and then read Huckleberry Finn. Next, I have Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet, and I believe I heard of this one from April on her channel, Getting Hooked With It. This is about a man named Henry, a Chinese American, who was in love with a young Japanese American girl in the 1940s. And basically they started a friendship and innocent love, but the woman he loved, Keiko, was evacuated to an internment camp. And they weren't able to find each other afterwards until 40 years later he thinks that he might see her and thinks that he might have found her again. And this reminds me of The Japanese Lover, but I think I might even like this one more. Oh, I don't know if I said, but this is by Jamie Ford. I do have another of Jamie Ford's books. I've heard good things about his writing, so I was excited to find this one. Next, I have The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon. I read this earlier this year. If you've been watching my channel, I loved this book, saw it in really good condition, and decided to go ahead and pick it up. So, there's that one. Next, I have The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce, and this wasn't on my TBR, but I think I had heard about it on someone's channel, and I believe this is about an elderly man who goes on a pilgrimage through some place. Yeah, it seems like he writes to someone and then goes on a pilgrimage through England. So, sounds pretty interesting. Sounds like it'll be good. Next, I have The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, and I know I heard about this one from April. And so this book, I don't remember much about it, but I believe it's a horror or a thriller. And this says, reclusive author Vida Winter, famous for her collection of 12 enchanting stories, has spent the past 6 decades spinning a series of alternate lives for herself. Now old and ailing, she is ready to reveal the truth about her extraordinary existence and the violent and tragic past she has kept secret for so long. Calling on Margaret Lee, a young biographer troubled by her own painful history, Vida disinters the life she meant to bury for good. Margaret is mesmerized by the author's tale of gothic strangeness, featuring the beautiful and willful Isabel, the feral twins Adeline and Emmeline, a ghost, a governess, a topiary garden, and a devastating fire. Together, Margaret and Vida confront the ghosts that have haunted them while becoming finally transformed by the truth themselves. So that sounds really interesting, and I will be excited to read that. Next, I have A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. I don't know that much about this book, but apparently it's hilarious, it's classic, and apparently, especially if you're in a bad mood, it's just a really funny one to read about a really goofy man. So I'll be happy to read this at some point when I need a pick-me-up. I also got The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein, and this is a book that is told through the eyes of a dog. Who wouldn't want to read this? Dog books are the best, yet the saddest, so I found this one in really good condition and thought I'd go ahead and get it. The next book I found was Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and this is one of April's favorites, and it has this really pretty cover with these metallic flowers, so I was excited to find this. April, I hope you're excited that I got this and that I'll be reading this. I really want to read this soon. Oh, I just noticed that there's notes written in here. Oh well, that's fine. I'll still be happy to read it with the notes. Next, I got The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo. I don't know much about this book, but I believe my brother told me to read this when I was really young, and I never did, and I saw it, so I just went ahead and got it. It has like huge text, so we'll see if I enjoy it. I really like the cover, it's cute, and it has interesting pages. So, anyways, found this. And the last book is The Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing by Melissa Bank. And I've heard about this book. I don't know much about it, but I've heard good things about it. Basically, it maps the progress of Jane Rosenall as she sets out on a personal and spirited expedition through the perilous terrain of sex, love, and relationships in the treacherous waters of the workplace. With an unforgettable comic touch, Bank skillfully teases out issues of the heart, puts a new spin on the mating dance, and captures in perfect pitch what it's like to be a young woman coming of age in America today. So I feel like I'm going to love this. It sounds like it's going to be really good. So those were all the books I picked up in April/the spring. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I got a ton of books. I have to figure out where to put these on my bookshelf, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've picked up any books lately that you're really excited about. Let me know what you've been reading. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe. Please have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.